This MAC college football preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Cram?
Dog.
And Spuds.
And Spuds, the ultimate party dog. Shout out to Spuds. And the ultimate party database, Colby Dant, aka Pablo Picasso. What's up, Colby?
Nice.
How are you, buddy? Love talking Maction.
Yeah, let's go.
And I noticed
why the Girls Gone Wild music.
Well, Spuds, he's a party dog.
Okay.
And it seemed like he would be hanging out.
Waiting for Colby to take his shirt off.
Well, you got saved on that photo too. I noticed because Daquan Finn, the starting quarterback of Toledo, must have been from several years back. But you're lucky because he's back in the MAC, starting for Miami, Ohio this year.
Saved by who?
Return.
I just don't want you to do shabby work. Is what I'm saying.
You attacking the creative team again?
No, they got saved a little bit.
What do you mean?
He's back in the MAC this year.
Is the jersey a MAC jersey? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is he a MAC player?
Is he a MAC player? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the why even mention it?
Well, it's interesting. He's on a rival program now.
Hey, you got a smudge inside the back of your closet.
All right, we got 13 MAC college football teams. We're gonna give a play on all the win totals, 3 locks in the future. Kramer, what team is up first?
Do they really have 13 teams
for 1 year?
Lucky 13.
That seems. I mean, they avoid 13th floors. They avoid a lot of 13.
MAC doesn't care about your dumb.
They also play on Tuesday.
Superstitions.
The Akron Zips. Well, hold on. Bless the slides. First, we should look at the national championship odds, which breaking news, they're all
the same, which means there's got to be some value on some
max,
of these, right?
or no value on any of them. But let's head into the Akron Zips. Great logo.
Now, what is that? A kangaroo, Colby?
That is a zip.
Is that what a zip is? A kangaroo?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know how they. I don't know how they decided let's do the kangaroo. I think I've gone down the rabbit hole before, but I can't think of it right now. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's known as Zippies. Zippy the kangaroo. The name originated from zippers, a type of a rubber overshoe manufactured by B.F. Goodrich,
because it makes
company
sense.
With roots in Akron.
And they played at the Rubber Bowl.
Okay, so the nickname was shortened to Zippers to Zips in 1950. Zippy the kangaroo became the official mascot in 1953. Wow, what a nugget.
Kramer was saying that this is one of his favorite logos in all of college football.
Zippy kind of looks like
kangaroos.
He might get his ass kicked if I were being honest.
Really? You ever seen one of these things get up on its tail and kick the shit out of something?
They are pretty good at fighting. Kangaroo boxing videos are a fun rabbit.
I would say this: outside of horse kicking videos, there's not many like from an animal CTE perspective. That just shit. I've seen a kangaroos knocking out humans.
Oh, it's pretty fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So Akron's 4-8 last year. Now the total's still down there at 4.5. Now, mind you, we're talking about a bad conference here, so we will have a lot of win totals down in this range. This is almost like middle of the pack. Plus 134 to the over, minus 164 to the under. 16-1 to win the conference, 1,000 or 100-1 to make the playoff, and 1,000-1.
And that's what I think you circle
to win the national championship.
Well, no, I mean, so guys,
what kind of jokes do you
No, this is exactly a team that I think you just have to like. I can mention Ben Finley's back, the quarterback spot, or it's another year in the
one of Moorhead's
system.
better teams.
Well, they're not eligible to make a bowl this year.
Oh,
did you know that?
No, why?
What'd they do?
Because they're leaving, or
they did not make grades for the NCAA. So that tells me something.
What? You have to have good enough grades to make a bowl game.
But you know what? I like that. Give me the over, no doubt. All right.
They got some guys who don't give a fuck about their grades.
Yes,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why does the NCAA enforce the dumbest shit?
So
I heard about that for players. I've never heard of a team punishment.
Well, so it must be a collective GPA. Is that what happens?
Yep. Look.
Well, is it the same dumb kids?
Not eligible for a bowl game.
Is it the
their multi-year APR score of 914 fell below the NCAA's minimum requirement of 930?
I've never heard of a team not being able to go to a bowl game.
Well, that's why I like them though, because goddamn it, in football you don't need all these crazy brainiacs and all these idiots. All right.
Wait, so I didn't come here not eligible for the bowl. How are they? They can't win the national championship.
Well, that's separate. That's not part of the bowl season.
Yeah. Good point. Good loophole. Could they still are eligible to win
they still can win the national championship. They can still win the conference.
Great.
Good thing the NCAA still exists. Well, Wyoming at Nebraska at UAB
win.
The Dukes
win
at Toledo.
They beat Toledo last year, I think.
So what are they starting out here?
Well, they don't have a bye for a while.
Yeah, they don't need it.
3-2.
This is the opposite of when we have the 2 early.
It's not like they need to go to class.
Yeah, it's true.
First
5 games. What do you have?
Well, they might have a focus on class in light of their suspension.
I got them 2 wins, first 5.
Okay, 2 and 3.
Then they beat Central.
3 and 3.
And then I like that. They'll probably lose to Miami Ohio, but they beat Ball State.
At Ball State, then at Buffalo. That's going to be tough.
No, they're going to lose to Buffalo, but then
4 and 4.
Yeah, no, but then they get UMass and Kent State. This team is going to be bowl eligible, even though they can't go bowling. So load up.
Of course.
I'm all over this. This is lock territory to me, especially when you announce this shit and like, when was this? So now they're gonna have even more of a message to send to these pricks.
Chip on their shoulder.
Oh, and nice bye week before the championship. That's a metaphorical, I assume.
No, they'll be 4 and 4 going into the bye. Then they can win 2 of the last 3.
They can play for the MAC championship though, right?
They can.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can literally do everything but the bowl games.
Yeah.
Whoa, what a punishment!
So they don't get to go to Frisco,
they don't get
Texas.
A hair dryer.
This is. Are there any other teams that are currently in violation?
It's the first
APR?
one in a while. Yeah.
How low is the bar?
I never heard of this.
How low is the bar? That's hilarious. I'm with you guys. Yeah, you got to take the over. Just on the angle of the dumb kid angle.
Yeah, they're the best.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, definitely don't overthink it. Ball State, great logo here. I kind of want the Cardinal to be giving a stiff arm, but then
but he doesn't have a ball in his other.
It's kind of also doing a 2-hand, like don't touch me.
Yeah, you need
get away.
The stiff arm works, but you got to have a football in the other hand.
Also,
this is a MS Paint logo, Colby. What happened?
This is another one. Was this a donation from a kid? You got
look,
White Tiger doing art.
I will say nothing bad about Ball State. They are great people to me.
3-9 last year, 4-8 the year before that. 3.5 the total this year. -120 the over. 55-1 to win the conference. 100-1 to make the playoff. 1,000-1 to win the national championship.
They got a new head coach, and I noticed there's a ton of MAC head coaches. And going back to why you might be high on Akron, I think when in doubt, I'm going to lean or look towards. No, it's not a. When in doubt, I dropped an L bomb.
Oh, well, yeah, that's all right.
When in doubt, I'm going to go to the. I'm going to go.
You're talking about pizza, right?
I'm going to go to the team that has a returning coach because there's so much turnover at the head coach in this conference. In particular, you got a new head coach, Mike Uremovich, 5 returning starters.
Nailed it.
What's great is I've been guys. Remember, I've been going at it with Ball State fans on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I got the quarterback DMing me because I didn't use this goddamn photo or.
Oh, that's right.
Me.
I forgot. How do you pronounce the coach's name?
That's what started this. That's what started this was not only did I use a photo from 7 years ago because there wasn't any available, Then they said I didn't pronounce his fucking name correctly.
Like it's a household name.
And I was like, well, I watch more Butler football games than you, and that's where he was a head coach. But
Wow.
those local announcers,
You're getting into fights.
those local announcers, it's different every time you watch a game. One time it's Yermovich, other time it's Irmovich. So we've been in the streets battling against Ball State. But look, one thing I feel very good about is the under here. I actually like the higher. I like the higher long term because I think he's a good football coach. But this schedule is fucking insane.
Only 5 returning starters.
I just want to let you know that, like, if
oh my God, you're right. Look at this schedule.
Yeah, if they don't get the Kent State game,
I was going to say we have to play the where do they get the wins?
At Purdue, at Auburn,
loss.
New Hampshire at home.
Very good FCS. Dangerous
so
game.
Losable game, would you say?
Yes, 100%.
Wow.
At UConn, loss.
Then you get a bye week home to the MAC champs, Ohio.
Loss.
At Western Michigan, loss.
My Broncos.
Akron and their dumbasses, loss. Right. At Northern Illinois, loss. Now you get to a certain point.
So they have one win. We're saying at this point.
I don't even know, man.
And they can win. They can win these 2 games. Is that this game? They can win
Kent State at home. You got to get that.
Yeah, they will.
Eastern Michigan at home.
No,
they can't beat Eastern.
I think East Michigan's better.
At Toledo,
loss.
At Miami of Ohio,
loss.
Yeah, they smash the under. Don't need to talk about
how many games are they favored? 2.
Are
they favored
New Hampshire and Kent State? But
what about Eastern Michigan?
No,
I think not at home. They're not favored.
And
4 seems steep. They would have to take down our Zips. This feels like if you like the Zips, you don't like the filthy. What was a stiff arming Cardinal? Falling down Cardinal.
Yeah,
falling down Cardinal.
Yeah, New Hampshire beat Georgia Southern not that long ago.
It looks like it just got hit really hard and is falling backwards. I'm on the under.
Everyone is on the under. Hey, shout out to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Head over there, get in on some college football futures. Easy deposit, easy withdrawal with that sweet cryptocurrency. Tons and tons of markets. You get the faster bet settlement. They're really on top of their game. And of course, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Terms and conditions apply on the deposit bonus. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Circa Las Vegas. Use that promo code SGP15. Get you 15% off the Circa, the D, or the Golden Gate. And of course, get in for the Circa Million, Circa Survivor, $21 million in prizes. We're going to be out there August 21st to the 23rd. Circa contest weekend, very fun weekend to be out there. A bunch of parties, open bar. Colby and Mac going to be doing a podcast. It's college football week 0. We got our VSiN show. There's just so much going on. Great time to be out there. If you plan on signing up for the contest, go to footballcontest.com. Promo code SGP, $50 off your proxy fee. So book a trip to the Circa, use the promo code SGP15, sign up for the contest, hang out, get a handshake from Ryan, get a nice cold beer over at Stadium Swim, have yourself a summer. And of course, yes, promo code SGP15, Circa, the D, or the Golden Gate.
Yeah. And we're going to do the handshake before you get that cold beer. Not shaking a cold hand.
No clammy handshakes.
No clammy handshakes. Next up, we have Bowling Green. Had a tremendous time on the campus of Bowling Green many moons ago after a rugby match.
You have to know when to call.
I think they might be better at football than they were at rugby. 7-5 last year and the year before. Now 6.5 plus 152 to the over, minus 188 to the under. 10-1 for the conference, 80-1 to make the playoff, 1,000-1 to win the championship. They are technically an eagle. This logo makes it look a little bit like this was like the runt of the litter.
Yeah,
large head bird.
Falcons are technically eagles. Is that true?
What?
The Bowling Green
Falcons. I'm sorry.
No,
you're right. I was just looking at the bird and it looked like an eagle. Either way, it's got a very large head. Could be prehistoric.
They do have a new head coach, Eddie George.
Won a Heisman Trophy in that state of Ohio.
Did pretty good in the portal.
Brings in his son Eric George, a defensive end that is very good, and also Drew Pine at the quarterback spot. Holy shit, he's still in college football. The former Notre Dame starting quarterback a long time ago.
They did lose a bunch of guys. 32 seniors gone from last year.
This is kind of the Akron play for me in a way. Like, I know the roster is not that bad because they were recruiting at a decent level. I just don't like when a coach has to come in that late.
Yeah.
Right. Like Leffler left for the Eagles, and
could it be an upgrade?
I mean, I do think it's a coaching upgrade, but I just think it's tricky because you had a bunch of transfers. Terrion Stewart goes to Virginia Tech. You had a bunch of other transfers dip out. So I think it's tough when you come in that late. You know, when you come in that late, it's like Carl Durrell at Colorado a few years ago after Mel Tucker left so late.
But you said like the Akron play.
Well, like I like you can before you even look at the schedule. My first thought is, I just don't like betting on a coach that comes in this late into the offseason.
Got it.
But we bet on Akron.
No. Akron, was simple just off of their being the failing the thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I didn't dive into it. I just thought from the
instant take.
But the Lafayette Leopards, Sean, your boys.
Fuck them, right? Is that the team we don't like?
Heading into the doink.
That's a win.
That is a win.
Guys.
At Cincinnati.
That's a loss.
It's a winnable game, yeah.
Home to the Flamin' Libs.
It's gonna be tough.
That's a loss.
Liberty's gonna beat them.
Then you have back-to-back at Louisville, at
Those
Ohio.
are losses.
Well, this is tough for a first-year head coach. This first 5-game
What if
stretch.
they don't win? What if they don't beat
How about the
Lafayette?
6th game, the Battle of I-75?
Oh, of course.
At least you get Toledo at home, Central Michigan at home, at Kent State.
Those are wins. Those two are wins.
Chip.
Yeah.
Then you get Buffalo.
Is that a winnable game?
It's the max, and all of them are like 6-point games. But
Buffalo has one of the higher win totals.
Yeah.
So
I'm on Buffalo.
But they are at home at Eastern Michigan.
I think that's a loss.
It's not an easy place to win. Then you play at home against Akron, at UMass.
That's they'll get one of those. But I think it's a 5-win season.
Yeah, and it's crazy. The juice is heavily favored to the under at 6.5. But I'm with you, under 6.5.
Yeah,
Eddie George might be good year 2 here at Bowling Green.
Yeah, no, I like the higher long term.
Yeah,
is this like how many years is he the coach here? This is like he would move on, right?
Well, I mean, if he only wins 5 games, but definitely for the next 2 years, I would say.
No, I'm saying like in the positive sense. If he does really well, there's like any job he wants is open.
Well,
do you think he wants to?
What if he beats Cincinnati week 2, and he has an 8-win season and wins the MAC, which is not crazy to say that. Well, the Cincinnati Bearcats might come calling.
Ooh, that's a step up in the state.
Yeah,
but we're on the under.
I'm on the under. Feel decent about it.
Is this kid good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move along. Next up,
Buffalo.
Great logo.
Nobody goes into Lambeau Field with Pete Lambeau and grabs a dub. How about that first season?
Yeah.
What a great first season.
8-4. Now the win total 7.5, minus 130 to the over, plus 106 to the under.
They were minus 25 yards per game in conference play. Little regression possibly coming.
6-2 in conference last year. Third favorite at plus 440 to win the conference, 40-1 to make the playoff, 1,000-1 to win the championship. So, adjusting for juice, they have the second best win total in the conference. And like Colby said, you can maybe ignore some of the regression that Sean pointed out with optimism of the program.
Well, 16 returning starters. They get the Kansas State quarterback. Colby, what do you make of him coming in?
He was originally a Penn State guy too, Taquan Roberson. Look,
great name.
I was sold on him potentially being so he's had quite the avenue. So he was at Penn State. Transfers to UConn with Jim Mora, right? The year that they went 6-7, right? And year 1 of it, in the first quarter, he looked pretty good against Utah State.
What happened?
Then he tore his knee up.
Yeah.
All right. And he transferred out to K-State because UConn brought in a bunch of different quarterbacks, and now he ends up here. I actually think it might be a good thing here. And Pete Lambeau, let me tell you something. coaching really does matter because if you look at when so Buffalo the year prior was kind of surprised when their head coach Marquise Lindquist left to be the defensive backs coach at Alabama.
Yeah.
Right.
And he knows Lembo knows the MAC because he was at Ball State for forever.
And he should have never got fired at Ball State.
Yeah.
So like he walks in and pretty much takes like their whole roster. He didn't like attack the portal that much. So you went from he took the same exact roster almost and went to a really competitive team. Coaching, this is like an exhibit A of how much coaching matters. I am kind of bullish on their team, you know, like just
pun intended.
Yeah.
And going back to the fact that in this conference, there's a bunch of new head coaches. Lembo, this is year 2 for him, but he is very familiar with the MAC.
You got to hear some of the guys that Taekwon was in like the other guys in Taekwon's recruiting class. Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels.
So he's experienced.
Sam Howell, Tua, Max Duggan. Shout out to the UFL. I mean, crazy. Roshan Johnson, who was a quarterback. I didn't realize that. That's crazy. He's now like a goal line back in the Cade McNamara. I feel like he's now like done college and finished. KJ Jefferson. I mean, man, he's been in college for a bit, huh?
Yeah, he has, man. He's got some injuries. Hopefully he can stay healthy. The defense, man. I really like the defense. I thought former Oklahoma linebacker Joe is it Bowden or Bowen? Maybe I'm wrong there. Is the DC, I believe. But Kobe Stewart is a beast at the defensive end spot. And then they got Red Murdoch. It's a fucking great name. Let's look at the schedule.
Yeah, and also learned about Roberson. He's a Jersey kid, fellow Jersey legend. I might have to be here on default at Minnesota. That's a winnable game. The boat is currently rudderless.
You know, those games are like, to me, Buffalo played really well. Like it is, I got to take Minnesota, but like I do think it's a game.
What's the number?
Minnesota laying 19.
17 and a half.
17 and a half exactly.
Oh
no, ball knower. So I guess we should grade this a loss, but yes. I think they're live. I think that money line, Sean, plus 650.
There's always a couple of shocking upsets there.
You got a vet quarterback like that coming out. St. Francis, the Red Flash basketball school at Kent State.
Win.
Not good. Troy Trojans. So
I got Buffalo
Sunbelt versus MAC. Who do you have?
I got Buffalo winning that.
Well, it's a home game. I think when the southern teams have to come north, you like the northern teams.
September, but yeah.
UConn coming to town. This is it.
I had that as a loss.
UConn went undefeated, so
it's a tricky game. I do think it is it'll be a close game, but I think UConn will get that one.
And then Eastern Michigan homecoming. That's win. So one loss, two loss, one loss, two loss,
two loss. So what's that? 4?
Yeah, you're right.
4-2.
4-2. And then you got at UMass. UMass, I assume, is going to be dog shit bad again. Our Zips have to come to Buffalo, so that's probably another win. And then at Bowling Green,
I think those are all winnable.
The not Eagles, the Falcons. So that's 3-0 potentially.
Could be.
I'll say 2-1 because it's the wacky Mac. But yeah, that puts it at 6 wins right there.
None of these games are on the Wednesdays are later. Okay. Off the bye, you have the Chippewas of Central Michigan, Miami of Ohio, and then Ohio. So again,
they could go 3-0 or 2-1.
Two more home games that are winnable.
Yeah, they're gonna go 8-4.
Oh yeah, I'm on the over.
So they get their toughest games at home.
Yeah,
this is a very nice schedule. I would also put a little in pencil circle around their future to win the conference. For me, at least for me.
Yeah, very reasonable plus 440. So we're all in the over 7.5 Buffalo Bulls.
Yeah. And shout out Roberson, maybe dark horse Heisman candidate.
Very dark.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. All right. Next up, we got the Chippewas basic logo, Colby. That's the best we can do.
Fire up chips.
I just appreciate they still honor Native American history.
I thought you were an artist.
That's actually like, it's either that or yellow. Same logo in yellow or that. Those are the two that they give us.
4-8 last year, 5.5 is the win total this year, plus 130 to the over, minus 160 to the under, 23-1 to win the conference, 100-1 to make the playoff, 1,000-1 to win the national championship. this is not. I mean, I don't want to speak for someone else's directional Michigan team.
That's not me. I'm Eastern.
But
new head coach
Chippewas
And
fucking
I'm so
suck.
bummed out. I'm so bummed out about this. They bring in Matt Drenkel.
What's your take on him?
Well, he comes from Army, so I was super like, if they run the triple, they're gonna fuck up the MAC. Like I really believe if a team runs the triple in the MAC, they're gonna fucking win 10 games every year.
And they're going to.
No, but he's not running the triple.
Oh, why
Yeah.
not?
He brought in some hotshot OC, right?
See, this is
Jim
tough,
Chaplin.
Kramer, because I have to
Got some
separate
city slicker coming.
separate Colby's love or hatred of
It's
people
so
rejecting
obvious.
the triple option
Look.
from the team. But you look at they were a very injured team last year. They were without their top 5 receivers. They had a -17 turnover differential.
Last season, Army and Navy almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
What the proof is right there for you, and they destroy
almost
these
played for the
shitty
Eagles,
teams.
but I didn't.
They destroyed but they still won. If you're a Central fan, don't you want a chance at like potentially being a playoff team?
Here's the concept. At one of these football coach conferences, we get a booth where Colby just pitches triple.
Let me
option.
tell you about the triple option.
It's the greatest offense
Just
in the history of football.
get him a soapbox to stand on.
Joey Labas is going to be the QB there. It's an interesting hire, though. It is an interesting hire.
It's also a they have a lot. The schedule is tough.
Oh yeah,
especially
the first 3 weeks.
If you're trying to work some shit out, you go on a road trip from at San Jose State to at Pitt, which I guess the benefit of going to Pitt early is it's not cold at least, and then you follow that
Still,
up with
Pitt
Michigan.
3 road games for a new head coach.
And every one of those games, I mean, the new San Jose State plays a physical brand.
Yeah,
Pitt plays physically.
Michigan
plays.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be beat. You might lose to Wagner.
Wagner's in a great spot.
You
there.
might lose to Wagner. That might be. We got to circle that one. Let's remember to sprinkle Wagner with the points that week because they are. How are they not going to be completely beat up? How many wins do they get in that first stretch?
1.
I got him at 1.
Maybe
the road games or all 6?
No, just Wagner. Yeah.
And then Eastern
it's a
Michigan.
new head
I
coach,
think Eastern Michigan is good. Yeah.
So they're getting they're at the bye. They have 1 win.
I think so.
Is that what we're saying?
And I got
R.I.P. the Chips.
I think they might have still 1 win after the second.
They're catching 10.5 against San Jose State. By the way, if you want point of reference,
lay it.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
At Bowling Green, UMass at home, at Western Michigan.
They can beat UMass
at home. Yeah.
I mean, it's anyone's game. I don't feel confident about it.
They can be 1 and 2. I'll say they. I'm
going to say 0 and 3.
I think even if you're super confident, it's tough to get them higher than 3 wins.
Yeah, 2 or 3. 3 is the ceiling at this.
3
point.
going after
the best
the
they can
second
do is 3 and 9, right?
And
well, 3 and 9. Then they have Buffalo at home,
loss
at Kent State, probably
winnable.
a win.
Yeah,
Toledo
winnable.
at home.
I think they win one of the last games. So to your point, I think you're at 3 or 4 wins.
Yeah,
5, maybe 5 wins.
5's the ceiling. Under.
That was a really well thought out. That went as well as it did in pre-production, guys.
Thank you.
Nice work. Oh my goodness, what are we looking at right, Sean? We might the channel might be getting taken off the air right now. I have no idea.
We like to honor Native American history.
I have.
We don't want to hit delete on them.
This logo is not honoring.
For the record, I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. Eastern Michigan. I mean, I really. What do they go by in modern day?
The Eagles.
The Eagles. Okay. I'm turning my head and squinting. I still don't see the eagle on the screen.
What do you mean though? Isn't there a lake right there?
YouTube.com/sports
How
gambling
is this
podcast.
Offensive?
Is this one of these shapeshifters?
I don't see it as offensive.
Does this human figure turn into an eagle? I'm still very confused. 4.5 is the win total. Plus 104 to the over, minus 128 to the under. How does Colby find this stuff on the internet? He's very, very sleuthy. 21-1 to win the conference, 100-1 to make the playoff, 1,000-1 to win the Natty.
Now they opened up 5-2, then dropped the last 5.
I gotta make this small. Sorry, Sean.
Their head coach is one of the more experienced guys in the MAC.
I think he's one of the best coaches in college football. He's Eastern Michigan was a program that didn't go bowling for like a long fucking time. I just think in general, he is one of the best. He gets the maximum out of his team, every year, and I'm excited because look, he'd been kind of getting fucked up in the portal the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
6-7 in 23, 5-7, 24.
well, they kind of, like Max Crosby went here, and so like my point is he develops players really well, but they've been dipping out. So before you would get them when they're juniors and seniors, but they've been.
But he has
out.
gone over this win total last 4 years. And let's see, you have to go. And since
what I like too,
2016, he's only gone under 4.5 wins once, and that was actually no. If you throw out COVID, you have to go back to his second year, 2015, where he went under this 4.5 wins.
Well, and another thing that I like is they got a little. It's like it's almost like the Dabo thing.
Yeah,
He finally was like, okay, we can strike back. And he went out and I think if you look at this team, bringing in Noah Kim, the quarterback that started some at Michigan State, is a very good get to me. And then they got Dante McMillan, a running back from Weber State. So they and Terry Lockett, a wide receiver from Michigan State that played with Kim. I think they got much more aggressive and in their approach, and they brought in some guys. I think they're kind of
Tough
flying
schedule.
under the radar. I think they're flying under the radar for this year.
Tough schedule. Also, have you guys seen the movie Pitch Black?
I have.
no.
Yes.
Kind of the one with Vin Diesel where he kind of looks like the creature on the the tile that you put on the tile here.
YouTube.com/sportsgaming podcast.
Colby, you got to warn us when you do something like
Oh,
that.
stop it.
So they at Texas State, LIU, at Kentucky, and then homecoming against the Raging Cajuns. This is
I got them 2-2
so again the Southern team coming north, but
after Missouri. Louisiana plays Missouri the week before.
yeah, and then they win the LIU, so they win the home games.
Last time they played at Kentucky a
Shacks.
couple of years ago, they lost by 4. Saying, watch out.
So at Texas State, LIU, at
2-2.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
the Raging Cajuns at home.
All right,
Yes.
at the Chips,
Win.
Yeah.
we kind
At
of
Bulls, no.
No.
the second one, yeah, they lose that one. Then NIU at Miami, Ohio. Is that 2 more wins there?
I say NIU might get them, but I'll take them to beat Ohio.
Am I at 4 wins? If I go,
I'm at 4.
Well, and then you also have the Ohio Bobcats,
yeah,
but you get them at home.
I actually think after that, it's a nice thing. I think they could win down the
They
stretch.
could be pretty easily.
wait,
4
how is
wins.
this so low?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They're look like they're underestimating Chris Creighton. He's a value play, I think, almost every year.
Schedule does start tricky, but it turns out to be kind of
Well, and the
manageable.
roster seems a bit better to me than the past 2 years.
Bowling Green at home, at Ball State, by Western Michigan at home.
And you might remember Kalen DeBoer. He is a guy that came from Chris Creighton. So
Yeah, I'm on the over here.
yeah.
Well, I think you have a lot of winnable games at home. That's the key.
Yeah, and I even think remember Texas State Texas State should beat Eastern Michigan, but they are playing UTSA Battle of I-35 the very next week, so it's kind of a look ahead spot.
This is a rival of my Broncos, but I'm gonna say I'll stay positive. All right, next up we got Kent State.
This is just a disaster.
I'm thankful.
Can you light some dog shit on fire?
I'm thankful that we. Why? This looks like Sonic.
Do you
Sonic
know what
the
happened
Hedgehog.
here?
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh no, I'm not talking about. I like the logo, but I'm saying so you had Kenny Burns.
Oh, what happened?
He was fired. Speculation with gambling. Remember, I think I sent you guys this article.
It's good. So
I'm
They did,
a degenerate.
they did a great job.
speculation, or he.
They did a great job of not releasing a lot of information on firing him, but he was fired very late into the offseason. And Matt Carney was on the staff, so he is taking over. They were 0-12 last year, and I'll be honest, they better get that fucking Merrimack game start the season because they might be 0-12 again this
I was
year.
going to say they've won 1 game in 2 years. Have
Yeah.
not won a conference game, Sean.
Now they do have CJ Montez coming in from Florida, who was a pretty good quarterback in the FCS. But a lot of their roster left when the coach got fired in April.
They used their free transfer.
Yeah, so it's very tricky.
What do we make of this Matt Carney?
Well, you can't be much worse than Kenny Burns. All right. So
Do we have a line you think for this Merrimack game?
I doubt it.
Nope.
Yeah. They're going to be horrible this year, I think. Now, Carney's probably an upgrade though, at coach. I think he's a former guy that I can't remember if he.
Well,
I thought he played there.
So the 1.5, the win total of 1.5 is minus 154 to the over, plus 126 to the under. But somehow the conference price is only 16-1. Did we get? Is that correct? They're shorter prices than a lot of other teams. Is that? Are we sure there's not a zero in there? Maybe.
Oh no, Carney played at a 4. Maybe I missed a 0. Look, he.
I don't know
Yeah,
what-
Kent State's. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to confirm this.
Their price to win the MAC is not going to be 16-1. That can't be right.
I probably missed a 0, dude.
It's it's you missed it multiple
Or
zeros.
6 zeros. Yeah.
I got it.
But
I'll update it. I'm seeing as high as 300 to 1.
I mean, that's crazy.
I'm gonna make that 300.
I mean, 1.5 wins, Colby. Can you get him to 2 wins?
I'll tell you this, so this guy played at Fordham, their head coach, and that's why the connection probably to the quarterback coming in.
Yeah.
They could be 1-0, and then it's like
UMass.
you have UMass coming.
It's gonna be like Kansas.
You have
all
Ball
over
State.
again.
You have Ball State later.
They're not.
But you don't have. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say under.
They could beat Central Michigan at the end of the year. Yeah.
I'll go over. They beat Merrimack and they shocked the world one time.
It's Maction.
If they lose after week 1, you're fucked.
You are fucked. I'm out. I'm gonna take the. Give me the under.
Under 1.5.
Let's sweat it.
No way. I'm going over.
Well, I like the
2
idea of
wins.
them losing to Merrimack and Sean being screwed. All right. Next up.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something?
No, not locking it up, but
Okay. Yeah, that's smart. Next up. Oh,
Colby. I mean, hopefully someone took the over on Native Americans shown
I
on our
told
college
you.
football previews.
I
didn't realize how many
I like to honor the
teams
history of
had
Native Americans.
American
Well, yeah,
logos.
I think in 100 years they'll laugh at us and say, "Why would they do that?"
Yeah.
You know,
the
like-
Miami of Ohio Guardians are.
Wait, that's not their real
No,
name.
the Red Hawks of Miami.
Redskins.
The
Yeah.
Redskins /
Um,
Red Hawks. People get mad when you say Redskins. I only when talking about pro football.
Now they lost 11 starters on offense, but they did bring in Daquan Finn.
the guy in the photo in the beginning. Yeah.
This guy's Daquan
Yeah.
on the picture here.
And Chuck Martin keeps a good program.
6.5 the win total, plus 152 to the over, minus 188 to the under. 6.5 to 1 to win the conference. 40 to 1 to make the playoff. 100 to 1.
I think there's
1,000 to 1 to win
value.
the championship.
I think there's value in this play
In what play?
to win the MAC. And,
Really?
well, they're just. I trust the coach, and then
He's
getting
been on a
Daquan
good run
Finn,
too. Yeah, he's 20-8 last 2 years at Miami of Ohio.
And when this guy was like an all MAC performer before, remember he went to Baylor. He was at Toledo, so getting him is a pretty big get, if I may say so. And I think the defense will still be in decent shape. So I do think there's value. And this is the wacky MAC. You never have the same like championships. You know, your championships are never the same. So
Here's what I would say. This is a tricky schedule. Tricky schedule.
out the gate, you are at Wisconsin,
So, I mean,
winnable.
Really?
I mean, Luke Fickell and Wisconsin are trash lately.
Okay.
I think they're gonna lose, but I'm saying like
What's that number?
Let's
Ryan?
Yeah.
see. Let's see what winnable for Colby is.
I'll say
I mean, do you
17.5 points.
17.5. Nailed it.
Wow.
Just on.
Did they have the Rutgers line there too?
They do not.
Like we'll put them 0-2, but it wouldn't shock me if they got one of those two.
Sneak one of those wins
Yeah.
out. UNLV play them in that
Jaeger Bomb Stadium. They're gonna beat UNLV.
Okay. Lindenwood Lions, the penitentiary.
Yeah, win.
That's all right. So maybe 2 wins at this point.
Okay. At NIU.
Loss probably. That's a game.
Back-to-back road spot. They drop one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Akron. So maybe
I'm going though. They're gonna win one of those games. They're too good of a football team to drop both those.
Eastern Michigan.
I had Eastern Michigan losing to Miami, Ohio.
Yeah. And then Western Michigan, both at home.
I had them losing.
I
to
think they
Miami,
could be
Ohio.
4, maybe 5 wins going
Yeah.
into the second pot.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy. Then you got at Ohio, Toledo at home, at Buffalo, Ball State at home.
They're not winning the road games there, in my opinion.
But they could win both those home games.
They could beat Ohio. Ohio lost a lot of production, but
I don't think we got to
actually
7 wins.
No, they are going to beat Ohio because Ohio beat them in the MAC championship last year.
Yeah,
but I don't think we got to 7 wins.
I'm at 7 wins.
I did.
Oh,
smash it.
Would you like me to explain?
I mean, I feel like you already did.
Ready? UNLV, Lindenwood. That's 2.
Yeah.
Akron 3, Eastern Michigan 4, Western Michigan 5.
I don't know about that
right?
Western Michigan spot.
All I need is 2 wins there, and guess what? Ball State at the very end, certainly, but I actually think they're going to be able to get 3 wins there. I think they go 3-1 down the stretch.
So you think they're? I mean, that stretch of Ohio to you're playing the best teams in the.
But
conference.
they are one of the best teams.
Okay. Under.
I'm leaning into
Sean under, please, and please let it be known that's lock potential.
Oh wow!
Yeah. You know they were 11-3 and 23.
Yeah,
and 9-5 last year.
I'm leaning into coaches who have MAC experience.
Got it. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Northern Illinois. I mean, in the MAC
last year in the MAC
is a different place. Northern Illinois.
That's a cool dog.
I'm thankful this wasn't another offensive picture.
It's a werewolf. I think
it's either a dog, some form of cat, or an Indian.
I think
90% of the time.
I think
Native American.
I think it depends on the. You could. I think it's subjective. I think a lot of people might be offended by that one.
The Guardians 7-5 last year. 6.5 is the win total this year. Plus 124 to the over. Minus 152 to the under. 13-1 to win the conference. 80-1 to make the playoff. 1,000-1 to win the national championship. They flirted with greatness last year, taking down Notre Dame.
Now, is there a bullseye because they're leaving the conference?
I mean, I would imagine the small conferences feel like this is no different than a big conference thing. It's just a small conference thing. So yeah, they care.
They had a really good defense last year. Colby, is it going to be good this year?
Well, the defensive coordinator is now at Fresno State, but
is that like insulting that one of their teams is leaving to promote themselves to the Mountain West? Like does the MAC view themselves as the same as the Mountain West? And
I think so. I think they say, what the hell, especially because this will be the second time they've done this.
Well, in your opinion, better conference, Mountain West, right?
Yeah,
clearly.
But shit changes. Like I said, like there was a point when like the early 2000s where the MAC was awesome. When the Chad Pennington, Randy Moss and shit, like they were at Mars, like that. Roethlisberger was at Miami, Ohio. Yeah. Shit changes.
Leftwich.
Shit changes. So, look, Northern Illinois has a long history of beating Power 5 schools. They're going to beat one of those 2 schools.
So Holy Cross at home at Maryland.
They need to watch that Holy Cross game though. They're not bad, but they lose to FCS teams all the time.
He's got to say something nice about every
1-1.
Every FCS.
When's the last time they lost to an FCS?
You've got to say something nice about every FCS.
2 years ago,
watch out.
Southern Illinois got them 14-11.
Watch out for this shit program that doesn't spend any money.
Off
2-1.
2-1 though. They're gonna get either Maryland or Mississippi State.
Yeah. So coming off the bye, they get at Mississippi State. They go down to Stark Vegas. So a northern team going south. We have to be fair about this. That might
San Diego State at home
might be fair. The southern team.
Really?
And then the Redskins. Did I do it right? Redskins in Miami, Ohio.
Correct.
Nice.
Honor the history.
Homecoming at Eastern Michigan.
Loss
at Ohio. Tough back-to-back there. And then Ball State at home. That's winnable. This is a tricky stretch here, Colby.
So at the second bye week, I'm like what 3, 4.
I'm maybe at
5 wins. I'm at 5.
I mean, if they win their home games in this stretch, they're at 4. I think that's fair.
At Toledo, at UMass, Western Michigan, Kent State at home.
I mean, they can 2, so 6 wins. No, under.
I'll take the under 2. Give me 6-6.
It could come down to that Kent State game, but I'll look towards the under here as well. Speaking of unders, our favorite underdogfantasy.com. Love doing the best ball mania drafts all summer long. Of course, go to underdogfantasy.com. Fire up one of those best ball mania drafts. You 15 million in prizes for one draft. $25 entry fee, $2 million the first. Great. It's simple. It's easy. It's fun. Gets you ready for the NFL season right around the corner. and just use our promo code. You get a deposit match up to $1,000. That means you could have 40 free shots of becoming a fantasy football millionaire.
Yes, sir.
UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. That's right. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM to get started with your 7-day free trial and start hammering away at their power trends. Start building your own college football model. Very easy. Doesn't require a PhD degree in mathematics. All you do, you adjust the sliders. Next thing you know, it's spitting out winners. And it's great. You don't have to do any of the computations. They do it all for you. And if you don't even feel like sliding together your own model, you can just use the Rhythm models. And great. They cover you for a ton of sports, picks, props. They got it all. 7-day free trial today. Get it going. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
All right, let's move along to the. I mean, I think Colby had the most fun doing this one. This is a terrifying logo. Nightmares are made of this for the Ohio Bobcats.
The champs.
9-3 the last 2 years. Like Colby said, took it down last year. 7.5 now on the win total. Plus 136 to the over. Minus 168 to the under. 3-1. So their second chalk. Although interestingly enough, if you adjust the win totals, their win total is lower than Buffalo's. So I don't know if that's maybe tiebreaker related or maybe just some market inefficiency, Sean. As we know, the markets tend to be pretty inefficient this time of year. 35-1 make the playoff, 100-1 to win the championship. I feel like Colby's been a little sour on them as we've picked through some of these other teams.
Well, I love the Ohio Bobcats, but Tim Albin, their head coach, is gone. Some of those players followed him to Charlotte. But I did like the hire of Brian Smith. This is a guy who was with Rolovich at
promoted the OC, right?
Yeah,
this is Goatsy Bobcat. That's what this is. This is Goatsy.
Great reference.
You found a Goatsy logo for Ohio.
Parker Navarro's back. He's a beast. He had like 20 touchdowns on the ground last year. Sai Bangora's back. He was at Ohio 2 years ago, left of Minnesota last year, comes back to Athens.
It's a great name. Say it again.
Sai Bangora. Bangura.
Awesome.
Look, I still think they're going to be solid. I just think you lost a lot of pieces. I do like the hire that they decided to do, but we've never seen him as a head coach, and I don't like their first 3 games of the season because they are fucking body blows.
Yeah.
If you look at the schedule,
Albin really had a great run.
I'm sorry, I'm getting lost in this Goatsy shit you got me looking at.
No one asked you to look at it. At Rutgers, West Virginia at home, at Ohio State. My God, that is a tough start.
Now what if they could get Rutgers or West Virginia? I will say this: Matt Campbell lost there 2 years ago.
Okay,
but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to say 0-3.
Gardner Webb at
no
home.
Spread, unfortunately.
That's a win, right?
Yeah, and look, in similar fashion to what we said, what was it with Wagner? Gardner Webb's better than Wagner after the body blow of those 3.
Yeah,
that could be a little more tricky than you think. But yeah, give him that win.
3-0 after that.
Bowling Green at home. It's winnable. At Ball State, bye.
Yeah, I'll say 3-3 first bye.
Yeah, 3-3.
Northern Illinois at home,
Tricky.
Winnable.
I got a 1-1 here.
At Eastern Michigan, that's tough.
Yeah,
Winnable.
1-1.
Then second bye, then you got Miami Redhawks at home,
Winnable.
At Western Michigan, UMass at home,
2.
Winnable. At Buffalo.
Here's my
Tough.
problem.
So we got to 7.
Here's my problem. You have 3 Power 5s, and then your road spots minus Ball State, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, and Buffalo. I all have as bowl teams this year. So I think that's a tough road schedule. So I am on the under here. I think the schedule is mainly the reason.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like slight bit of optimism unless they go on a little bit of a road tear. There's no way they get there. This might be a lock, Sean.
Yeah. Everyone's on the Ohio Bobcats under 7.5 wins.
You ever seen a Bobcat in the wild, Colby?
No, thankfully.
Let's go on a hike.
It's not a scary thing to run into a bob. I wouldn't. That's pretty low on the list of things that are going to kill you, Colby. Wow. This doesn't fall into either category that you
It's a
listed
girl.
earlier.
That's Rocketeer.
Well, it's got like a
He's got a bow in his ponytail.
I think that's a thing on the helmet.
that kind of looks like a bow on the ponytail.
It's got like a long. Yeah, it's got a nice ponytail.
That's cool. I mean, it is 2025. Toledo,
Yeah, whatever.
And their Rockets, undefeated in conference back in 2023. Only 4-4 last year. Excuse me, 7-5 overall, and now they have. I'm choking over here. The only 8.5 win total in the conference, plus 104 to the over, minus 128 to the under. Favorites at plus 260, 22-1 to make the playoff, 1,000 to win the championship. That's definitely a girl. Toledo Rockets. I mean,
they started 4-1, finished 7-5, but they in that stretch they lost their quarterback, top running back, 14 returning starters, so a lot of continuity, but some tough road spots.
But they did go out and get Chip Trainum, the running back from Ohio State, and Northern Illinois' best wide out there, Travion Rudolph. So nice job there. Tucker Gleason back, no relation to Jackie. But
kids don't even know who Jackie Gleason is.
Oh.
Our
Real
audience
quick,
knows
just
who
I want
Jackie
a quick
Gleason
zoom in. That
looks like a bow and a ponytail.
yeah.
what protruding a helmet?
What the thing
Yeah,
on
the
top
hair's
of the
coming
helmet?
through the helmet.
What is that? That's very strange.
I don't know.
Just saying.
Right in with your
Colby,
thoughts at Gambling Podcast.
Why not go with the missile?
Colby's anti-war.
Sorry, the
He's a
Rockets.
I thought
First I get the
sensitive.
first I say Eagles for Falcons, then I say missiles for Rockets.
8.5 wins. Can they do it?
Well, I tend to think that. Well, I would say this. No.
I can tell you this. I think they are live on that money line against Kentucky week 1.
Woo.
Now
Stoops is this the Stoops beginning of him getting fired?
I mean, you saw what Toledo did to Mississippi State last year. They won by like 30.
Toledo's a fun team.
Do we have a line on that week 1?
A lot of the MAC games not up for whatever reason. Toledo. Oh, we do have one. 11.5.
Okay,
I'll take the points.
That's
Money line plus 320.
I'll take the points there.
Kobe's gonna have a shitload of dogs week 1. We better check back on his picks episode.
I had some favorites. I told you.
All right, so
San
at
Jose
Kentucky,
State minus the points.
At Kentucky, then they got the Hilltoppers coming to town, followed by the Morgan State Bears. At Western Michigan, my Broncos, and then the Akron Zips. Homecoming for the Zips. How dare they?
4-1.
They lose to the Broncos, right?
Or Kentucky. One of those ones.
Do they win? Do they win one of the road games?
I think they could win.
I said 4-1.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be optimistic. Bye week at Bowling Green.
Battle of I-75.
Kent State.
At least they get a
At
Holman.
Wazoo.
Holman.
Wow. Whoa.
That's a tough road spot.
Yeah, I'll say 2-1 there.
The Pullman spot really out of left field. 1 and 2, you think?
2-1, I said.
Oh, I'm saying I'm talking to myself.
So maybe 6 and 2, maybe
I'm gonna go
5 and 3.
I think 1 and 2 there.
It could also be 4 and 4. Yeah, 4 and 4 is in the realm of possibility.
I mean, this is a sandwich spot for Washington State as they at Ole Miss, at Virginia, then they play Toledo, and then at Oregon State. So
We could catch
I guess that
Wazoo
could be
sleeping, I
winnable
guess.
too. So I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2-1. And then NIU followed by the Redskins, got it right. Ball State, and then at Central Michigan. There's 3 winnable games there.
Yeah, I got him 9-3.
So 4 plus 2 plus 3.
I could even build a case for 10-2.
I got to 9.
Like besides, if you're saying the Kentucky game, every other game is very winnable. I actually think Washington State might even be a harder game than Kentucky.
But Washington State having Oregon State on deck, this being like the lull in that very difficult stretch in the schedule.
I even think
we had Washington State winning that game for the record, but I do. But
Jason Candle is 73 and 40 as a Toledo head coach. So I'm going to continue to default to overs with these guys with a ton of experience in the conference.
I'll take the over here.
You also got to like. There's no Buffalo. There's no Ohio.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice schedule.
The non-con road stuff is a little tricky, but I think they're still going to.
I needed a. I don't
The
like
two worst teams, Kent State and Ball State, and I think third win total wise, Akron, are all on the schedule in conference.
UMass.
Oh yeah, UMass is new. So,
Up next.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Minutemen come marching in.
Oh, look at this guy. He's falling over. Or what's he doing? Is he punching something?
Yeah.
Why is he
Some fucking limey Brit right in the gut.
Well, he could be fighting one of the other teams, which has a mascot of a Native American.
He could be doing a lot of things with that hand. He could be milking a cow.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
we need to get Jake to Photoshop various things on the Minuteman. They have not been very good at college football. 3-9, got worse last year. 2-10, now 4.5, -115 to the over, -105 to the under, 55-1 for the conference price.
I actually think
100-1 for the playoff, 1,000-1 for the national.
This was a great move by them. I know some people are pissed because basketball is going to be in the MAC, but I think this is a program. First off, from what I understand, they will be the second biggest payroll for football in this conference. When you're independent, as much as I said I want more teams independent,
you got to be good though.
Yes, UMass their schedules were ridiculous. When you looked at the independent schedule, I mean, like what they play like 3 SEC teams: Penn State, Army, Liberty, UConn. You know, like those are tough games that you're just not there yet. You can build winning culture now, so I actually think this is a very strong move for them. I don't know that it can actually work. I mean, they're bringing in a brand new head coach right now, so Don Brown era is over. So I'm curious about this year, but I do think long term, this is a very good move for the school to gain some winning traction, which can buy fan culture and then buy more money into your program.
Are they allowed to win this year?
They play. The schedule is way easier than last 5 years.
Are they allowed to win the conference?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
they're not coming from FCS. Yeah.
I know, but sometimes they have these rules like, hey, new guy.
No, they don't. They don't. I've never heard of that.
It's like you're trying to join a fraternity.
I've never heard of that for a
hey,
team.
dude, you want to join this club? Touch this guy's dick. No, seriously.
So what happened to you in Blacksburg?
No, that's what these guys are into. I mean, rugby guys are way more overt with their eroticism. Like they'll just get naked in like a group event.
Ryan knows firsthand.
It's very strange. I mean, I was never into it.
Will get penetration.
Oh, it's cool. It's a scrum. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean,
what happens in the scrum stays in the scrum.
There was no
right?
physical contact, but it was just.
Oh yeah, that's the only time rugby guys don't want contact.
Well,
sure.
I mean, like I said, some dudes just they didn't really like wearing clothes.
You had a different college experience than I did, Ryan.
Yeah, I think so. You were up north. I was down in the south, amongst the hillbillies.
Southern dandies.
I would actually spend it not just rugby, but hillbillies often don't like wearing clothes. UMass schedule. It's true.
It's just a funny transition. Hillbillies don't like wearing clothes. UMass at home, opening up against Temple.
Yeah, exactly.
Bryant Bulldogs.
Two first year coaches with Casey Keeler coming into Temple. I think Temple
and Iowa, right?
What?
And at Iowa.
First year coaches?
No, I was just finishing up the beginning.
I'm going to give Temple the nod, but I think that game is interesting because 2 new programs installing a bunch of new shit. But I would favor Temple slightly. Bryant, they should beat Bryant in the CAA there. Then have fun in Kinnick.
At Iowa, good luck.
Yeah.
Bye week at Missouri, loss.
Yeah.
Western Michigan at home, loss.
Kent State win.
Possibly.
I think they're in better shape than Kent State right now.
Kent State's. We're not fans of Kent State.
But it's a road game, right?
That is true. I mean, that could be one of Kent State's.
We said that was
2. I do have them winning.
I was
games.
on the under.
Sean, if you have Kent State winning 2 games,
this is a must win.
You almost have to go under with UMass.
Nope.
I'm telling Sean. I'm giving Sean intelligent advice. I think the UMass Kent State totals are intertwined.
Buffalo Bulls at home. No. At Chippewas, no. Bye week at Akron, no. And Northern Illinois at home.
Where are they going to be favored by a lot?
At Ohio,
Are they favored against?
I think they could upset a team or two, but
Yeah,
but I can't get to 5.
Five is
Yeah.
tremendous.
5 is a lot.
Yes.
One, you're new head coach, right?
I think it could just be deceiving though that
They've had 5 wins in the last 2 years.
but
Sean.
those their schedules are so insane before.
But also
this is,
too, like
this is bound to help them.
I feel like the MAC is something that you have to understand. I'm
It's different football.
if you don't have MAC experience, I think it's going to take you a year.
Different football.
No, it really is. No, honestly, playing games on Wednesday, all that weird shit they do, like the Wednesday to Tuesday turnaround. I think if you're a new head coach, it's tough to transition, and your team's coming new to the conference.
Yeah.
Well, we know
No
that
history
from
there.
our NFL experience that new coaches don't do well
hate
on
change.
short weeks.
Yeah, under 4.5 for me.
Yeah.
Everyone on the under?
I concur, Sean.
I'm on the under.
All right, last team, my Western Michigan Broncos. Look at this beautiful. Look at that.
It's a stallion.
That is freedom right there. No,
I
it's
know
a Bronco.
why you like it, right?
It's a Bronco, Sean.
Okay.
It's a Bronco. A Western Michigan. This logo must be really old. But only 4.5 on the win total after a 6-6 year last year. -162 to the over, +132 to the under. 13-1 to win the conference, 80-1 to make the playoff, 1,000-1 to win the national championship. Colby, how good are my Broncos going to be this year?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised at this number. This in Eastern Michigan, I was surprised that they put it at 4.5. Lance Taylor has been very impressive to me the first 2 seasons. Now, I guess I'm not in love with the Walt Bell OC thing. He's been kind of a dud, I thought, everywhere he's been, but I'm impressed. They pass the eye test each year when I watch them. I feel like they look better than I anticipate. Now they are replacing a ton, but Brady Jones, JUCO transfer from Riverside Junior College.
Let's go.
He's coming in at the quarterback spot, so I have no idea how the hell he will be. But Jalen Buckley's back at the running back spot, and then they brought in Christian Leary, who was once an Alabama Crimson Tide wide receiver under Saban.
Year 3 for Taylor. That's usually kind of when your program gels.
That's the beginning of the peak. Catching 17 points, 17.5 points week 1 at Sparty. Then they have a winnable game against the Mean Green.
Yeah.
Then they take to the road against Bielema.
They're gonna lose that game.
Fighting Illini. Illinois going to be good this year.
Yeah. They were like top 15 or something. Top.
Then you
18
have
last year.
Toledo coming to town, which that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it's a really tough schedule to start.
The Rams, who are a above average FCS team.
Yes.
Then at UMass, that's got to be winnable. And then Ball State, which I think that's also winnable. I think I just got 4 winnable games out.
I think they're gonna have 4 wins by then.
Worst case 3 and 4. It feels like, right?
Yeah, I mean even.
Yeah. I think I'm with.
So then off the bye, you have a 2-game spurt of at Miami of Ohio, the Red Hawkskins, and Central Michigan Chippewas. You can beat Central Michigan here.
I think you're right, and that
Get
puts
one?
us on the over.
Yeah.
And then you got Ohio just for a little icing on top, maybe
It's a
a cherry.
brutal final 3
Ohio
games.
at NIU at Eastern.
You're
Michigan.
gonna need it because that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
All right, still in the over though.
I'm even gonna. I think they're gonna get to a bowl. Give me like 6 and 6.
Yeah, they went 6-6 last year.
Yeah.
It feels like they're gonna run that back.
All right, time for 3 locks.
3 locks. Oh.
A future for the MAC. I looked back. I was trying to look at our records last year. We did not preview the MAC.
No, this was the new thing.
This is the new Colby.
Colby badgered us to do more.
I told
conferences.
you guys that I thought you guys were losing a little bit, and
We didn't do
Losing our
Sunbelt
edge.
last year. We didn't do Independence last year.
Well, that's why I've been saying on the
We didn't do MAC
in
last
the Reddits
year.
in the Reddits that you guys aren't football
Reddits.
guys. All right.
What do you know about the Reddits?
Yeah, Colby's banned from most Reddits. I think.
Yeah, that is true.
The UFL guy.
He's a big
Yeah.
Facebook group guy.
Kramer. 3 locks in the future. What do you got?
Oh man, I think I told you to pencil a couple things in. I think we like Buffalo. Let's take Buffalo over.
Don't mind that.
We want to fade the Chippewas. Let's take their under.
Don't agree with that, but
Okay.
no, I am on the under as well.
Okay. I just want to fade one of my deep dark rivals. Do we do one more under? Let's fade. Let's go under with Ohio as well. And then for the future, man, Do I double up on Buffalo? Is that the move? Yeah, let's go Buffalo to win the conference.
Buffalo to win the conference at plus 440. For me, Eastern Michigan over 4.5. Miami of Ohio over 6.5, and Western Michigan over 4.5. Colby, I'm not taking all those are somewhat experienced coaches, right? I'm sticking to my brand.
Yes.
Double checking.
Well, I'm doing a lot of research before and hoping for the best. Eastern Michigan Eagles 21-0. Go Birds. Let's get it done. Colby, what do you got?
Yes, let's start with
it's 21-1.
Eastern Michigan over 4.5 is a slam dunk.
Yeah.
I like Ball State under 3.5.
Yeah, they're gonna be ass.
And I will also take Miami, Ohio over 6.5.
Red Hawk skins.
And I'll also take some of that future plus 650 to win the conference.
Miami of Ohio plus 650. Yeah, that would be if I had another future, I would take that because I'm high on this Miami and Eastern Michigan team. Colby sold me.
Let's go.
One of us is wearing the T-shirt of a MAC school.
Yeah, Western Michigan. You didn't even take them. I'm on the over. I locked it up.
I like the over. I like that.
I was a good spot for them.
Yeah, it was. We only had 3 locks, so I was limited by your requirements.
Okay, I'm holding Kramer back.
Yep. With this conference, yes.
Appreciate everyone tuning in. Tell a friend. Let them know they're previewing all the college football conferences. If you're looking for the individual team previews, you know where to go. The college football experience. Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. Come hang out with us. Contest sign up weekend at the Circa. Promo code SGP15, August 21st through the 23rd. And as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money greenies. Ryan.
Up next, Sean, more new territory, the American.
Kramer, let it ride.
Am I real?